I'm back. Haven't made a proper tech video in a while. April 20th, 2021. Buff Cook steps onto the stage and announces their new credit card feature. He announces a purple iPhone 12. That's not how they made the iPhone 12. Where are the sweatshops? He announces a purple iPhone 12 for some reason. Then we see Airtags, a new Apple TV, and a Siri remote. And also an iMac. Then this guy steals something and puts the M1 chip in an iPad Pro. Turns out it was Tim Cook. The spring forward, loaded event was bonkers. Here are my thoughts. By the way, I don't expect this to get any views. It's literally been 12 days since they held the event and no one cares anymore. Airtag. After years of rumors and false claims, we finally got them. They look pretty good, exactly what you think an Apple tracker would look like. The white plastic scratches easily though, as well as the back. Kinda like those stainless steel iPods. They look good when you get them, but they just look like trash after a few months. The design choice is kind of weird. They're kind of thick, way too thick to put in a wallet, as various YouTubers pointed out, and they don't have a loop. This means if you want to attach the things, you need to spend extra on a keychain case thing. An accessory for an accessory, sounds like Apple, and the keychains actually cost more than the AirTags themselves, unless you want to get a third-party one. There are keychains that cost upwards of $400. The Find My network is pretty cool though, and Apple seems to want to dominate the tracker market. And seeing that there are already third-party products that support Find My, Samsung and especially Tile are going to have to work their butts. Alright, iMac. 9 years later, we finally got a redesign. I don't hate the new design. The fun, optimistic colors play around and look different. It looks great from the back and is really reminiscent of the early 2000s, especially considering the wallpaper and the mouse. However, there are some design choices I just don't get. We waited 9 years for this, and there isn't an option for a black color or even black bezels. Come on, anything with white bezels looks good when it's on, but the second you turn it off, it just kind of looks weird. It just contrasts way too much. There's also a black border thing between the bezel and the LCD screen. This is why I choose black bezels everything. It's thinner and lighter, but who cares when it's going to be sitting on a desk anyway? They actually made it so thin that you can't fit a headphone jack in the back. It has to be on the side. I guess that'll look kind of weird if you have headphones plugged in, but it makes more sense that they put it in a more accessible place. And the chin. The entire computer fits inside that chin, but if they just made the computer a little thicker, they could have fit the whole thing behind the screen. Bye-bye chin. And now the Apple logo is missing, so it just kind of looks weird and out of place. I would honestly prefer the renders that looked more like a Pro Display XDR. They had no chin, black bezels, and a more modern looking design. I get that this is meant for people who just want a home computer to last them through the pandemic and beyond, but still, people were waiting for this. People were waiting for this for 9 years. But Apple just sticks a MacBook Pro's internals into the chin, attached the screen, and called it a day. You might as well just get a MacBook Pro, since there isn't a RAM configuration higher than 16 gigs for the new iMac. I suggest waiting until the next iteration comes out to see if Apple keeps the new design. Alright, iPad Pro. This thing now has 5G and the same screen specs as the Pro Display XDR on the 12.9-inch model. You can also connect it to the Pro Display XDR with full 6K support, and it has Thunderbolt. They've pretty much perfected the iPad Pro design already, so no need to comment on that. There's also a new white keyboard option if you're into that. Then there's M1. Yup, you can now get Apple's M1 chip for $7.99. The only problem is, I don't think anything on the iPad Pro needs that just yet. But what if Apple makes it so you can run Pro applications? With 8 and 16GB of RAM options, this thing has identical specs as an M1 MacBook Air, and that thing's a beast. Nothing can take advantage of that though, just yet. So what if we get a Premiere Pro and Final Cut for iPad? Even better, what if we get a program that lets you boot macOS from an iPad? Guess we'll have to wait for WWDC to find out, but for now, this is pretty much the nail in the coffin for Android tablets. That's it for this video. If you liked it, then why not subscribe? It's free and you can unsubscribe at any time. I'll also bonk my head for every sub I gain. If you want to see more of my content, then why not click these things? Anyway, see you next week.